Hello, Reckoning7 here, and welcome to episode 38 of our Rule Waves 2 playthrough as Austria-Hungary, where we are at war with Great Britain. And in the last episode we concluded our first naval engagement. It was a mixed affair. We ended up trading one battle cruiser apiece, although we came out worse in terms of destroyers, and in the end gave away 2,000 victory points. Probably the bigger blow was losing one of our two modern-ish battle cruisers, as we do not have very many of them. So as we head into this episode, we'll be looking for better opportunities and better engagements with which to whittle away at the British ships and to build ourselves a bit of a victory point lead. As ever, these were taken from Twitch live stream, so I'll just hand you back to the live audio. Yeah, my budget hurts, mainly because we are building a whole bunch of stuff, which we're probably going to have to put on hold. Almost done, but the war came a couple of months too soon for my budget. And it also doesn't help that we've got a whole bunch of people now repairing, which 150% maintenance. Apart from that, I mean, up to this point, this run has been going very well, actually, during the Mediterranean. And why not? We need to pull against Britain. We're gonna have to pick and choose our fights a little bit better. Although we do need to sink enough ships, I should say, and out the point score. They'll tell me here. Oh, that's quite a deficit. 140 to 246. They got in their home fleet. Only 52. But they are also blockaded by Russia, presumably. Unless only players can blockade. What do my air wings look like? Let's have a look. If we go to, I don't know, something like Tunis. Oh, I haven't actually put ones, that's one we've been building. A poor example. Where's Barits? There we go. They're just building up to, so this was a 60 and they just need some additional planes to get to an 80. So I'd just been in the process of upgrading a whole bunch of bases before the war kicked off. I haven't got planes in them all yet. Probably just want an extra 20 dive bombers in this, to be honest. Medium bombers are pretty useless. Yeah, especially the ranges we've got now. They're certainly more useful early doors. When the ranges aren't everything. You are probably right that they have outlived their usefulness. So you're up in 80. You going up? Yeah, so I think I've kept like 10. Actually, they go up to 20 in my hundreds, which is probably a bit of overkill. So I now have a lot of underutilized bases, like I say, because I've just been building them up and haven't built them yet. So maybe we'll just quickly do that. Why you? An odd selection of things. Need dive bombers. Problem is I won't be able to produce all these instantly. Flying boats, though, feel free to go nuts. Airdrop jet charges are great. Yeah, very true. They also good for just kind of scouting and stuff, but they don't have that many subs, I don't think. Almanac. Ooh. Yeah, we've got like 20 subs. Not too bad. Right, let's quickly run through this and upgrade all these bases. Because we're going to need them. I'll just focus on those that are empty at the minute. Who's got a 60? Right, we'll copy you. Drop that into Tunis. Yeah, fine. Okay. Some of these medium bombers might be a little overkill. I wish there was an easier way of doing this, to be honest. Some of the micro in this game is frustrating. I think we are going to focus on adding a lot of dive bombers. We've got torpedo bombers in most places, but I get the feeling that dive bombers are more useful at this stage. My naval aircraft maintenance is almost as big as my fleet. That's what happens when you go absolute mad with air bases. But as you say, in the med, unfortunately, it's kind of what you need. And yeah, adding all these planes is not going to help. But once I finish building all that stuff, it will. Although I'm going to need to put a couple of things on pause. This is not going to help my air maintenance in the slightest. But I didn't mean to do that, and you'll have added weird aircraft. Except a little bit of inefficiency. Also, I'm not going to have like anywhere near this number of dive bombers to actually put into these groups. It'll take a while for my industry to build them. Already got some dive bombers. Why don't you have an extra one of torpedoes then? Okay, that's fine. Right, let's sort out our budget. Probably going to put these guys on the hold. See if we can't get these light cruisers knocked out. We won't be able to afford them all, so I'll put one of you guys on hold as well. We're going to have to, yeah, try and fight a little bit smarter with Britain. Blockades could hurt though. But that's the war we picked. Let's see what happens. Battleship engagement. I'm tempted to take this. I mean, I'm going massively outclassed, but if I can essentially hide from them, I have so many air bases around here. I might be able to make something work. Depends when it is. Oh my god. It was at night time. It is 4:30 in the morning. Weather it limits air operations. I think we might just turn around and run away from this. To be perfectly honest. Unless the weather changes. In fact, they've a lot more battleships to fight than we have. This is was our newest one. 41. Okay, that's only 5 years ago. To be fair, there you go. This is probably the pride of Habsburg. Name of our class. 12 16-inch guns. 16 6-inch. Be not the best AA in the world. I do not have control yet, so we'll just let it run till I do. Also got around back here. Lots of battleships. I think it's massive engagement. See what happens. I think we might end up just having to run away if the weather doesn't change. Yes, that is a great point. One I always forget. Set up the strike groups just in case. I probably should send some escorts as well, actually, especially as they're likely to have a chunk of cap. What do you call it? Spot. Blind. Fine. I'll take all of you. Maybe to take your group of 8 and your group of 6 on escort. Excellent. Okay, guys. Oh, I cannot even ready them when the weather's out. Well, that great idea doesn't work. Yeah, it is a little bit stupid, isn't it? I suppose maybe it says by readying it means like getting up on the flight deck, but even then, unless the weather's horrendous, you can certainly do that. But we now have control. Let's pause the other thing we've got to concern ourselves with, which isn't so bad now actually, if we're not going to be off the wind direction. These guys obviously tendency to turn into it to launch the aircraft. Has got us in trouble before. Have you turn back towards the port. Play this one a little bit coyly. Yeah, you can start spilling torpedoes, arming bombs. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot you could do without actually launching. How on earth did you get there? Well, darkness. That's how I reckon. Okay. let's see how this goes. Let's get you guys up to 20. It's still incredibly slow. Oh, my battleships are slow. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, everyone up to a reasonable speed. We've got our CVs backing off. Let's find out what has run between our lines. There's a number of them as well. Our visual range is still absolutely terrible. Don't get too close with our heavy ships. We do have them surrounded at least. We could always try and do a little bit of knife fighting with the destroyers we've got here. In ahead. Let's launch your torpedoes for now. Don't know off the top of my head if Britain have radar assisted firing yet. I want you to come across actually. I'm going to put you a bit close in this turn, but I need you to protect the carriers. You guys decide to make a run for it. I suspect this will just be their light forces, but you're wrong. Okay. You guys coming from this side, you guys coming in from this side, that's good. Getting worryingly close up to the south. I think it's come far. Guy is. More ships up here, which I suspect is probably their main fleet. I'm not that worried about engaging. Oh, hello, Majestic. Alright, go on, tell me you've got an angle. Keep going. You'll get one, I've got faith. Not convinced this is going to be the angle either. And just behind her. Now we have to play that terrible game of trying to catch up while eating a lot of secondaries. Let's be honest, it usually ends badly. Right. Thankfully these guys are coming in, because you guys are probably not going to get a job done. Oh, near miss with our heavies. What's she sporting actually? 12 inches. Yeah, it's the older one. An older one we would happily sink. Don't know what that is. I might fire some torpedoes at it anyway. I'm not convinced you are going to be around for that much longer. Right. Let's get some fish in the water. We've got a fair few salvos. It looks like we've got our relatively well trapped here. Oh, she's going out swinging. That's a map. Oh, I zoomed in massively. I don't know how I did that. Okay. Right, this is it. Here we go. Get some. And this is the kind of thing we want actually. If we can just nab her, and then everyone else runs away happily, and just do that again. Need to wait at them. That's what we need to do. Problem with that is that it might be too long for us to overtake the blockade, and we might run out of destroyers. That looks like she's about to eat a lot of torpedoes. Surprised we still haven't identified what these ships are. I'm guessing they're destroyers escorting this battleship, but you never know. Majestic is the one that's doing all the damage. Let's have you Oh, you can't do anything. Python. Nope. Let's do that. See if we can hit this thing, whatever it is. Ooh. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Let's not hit ourselves. Let's see if the Tatra can follow up. And we should pull off. Call that a good job. Another one. 2 more on course though. Guys coming south. We've got another contact. There's another one. Okay, so that's 4 we've now put in her. I'm pretty happy with that. I can't really pass this up, can I? You guys can go torpedo free. We shall pull you out. Okay, there's another one. He looks dead in the water. I think that is a kill. Perfect. Python's sinking. Yeah, well, there's a few destroyers in this, but worth it for a battleship. You guys should probably be in line ahead by now. I'll get them sorted out. Deal with these destroyers, screened from the battleships. You guys just head south. They are running away, whatever they were. They may have had some CVs here which they're just not engaging with. Definitely need to play conservatively. Majestic about to come in airship for 3 seconds as torpedoes blow her out of the water. Nice. She will majestically go under. Oh, I just realised that that got caught in auto moderator. Didn't like the phrase "blow her." That's pretty strict. That's unnecessarily strict. Okay, you guys really need to dissuade these destroyers from coming much closer. A lot brighter. There's a reason the copy us for waking the mods is 3. Yeah, well, unfortunately my mods at the minute are just bots. And they do okay. Right, you're unnecessarily using torpedoes, which is fine. Ooh, flash flyer. Flash fire even. Bye bye Kennet class. I'm surprised to see that this late game. Thought they would be appropriately armoured and have learnt all their lessons by now. Although I suppose this will be their first actual war, because AI don't fight wars with each other. South. Make for the port. Whatever speed you could muster. Close enough to finish these destroyers off. A bit of a wiggle. I don't like how quickly this guy's charging at us. Feels if ever I've seen them. We got away with it though. Okay. And now she's dead. Interesting, that single destroyer is still coming for us. Surprising, right? Yeah, stay to the rear end of that destroyer and come around here. And can you switch your target? Oh wow, another one's gone. Okay. Neptune out just for just now. Everyone else can just. Oh, actually. Weather opened up. Oh, let's find out. Oh, it has. Oh, maybe we'll hang around for a little bit longer then. Yeah. They are fine for the spot. You guys ready? I don't know where I'm going to launch you, but might as well be ready for it. All my land bases will get off as well, and numbers here, yeah, that's fine. Find out where those ships have gone. And yes, you just make sure they are completely unnecessary at this point. Yeah, float planes are no go, but I can ready my strikes. Excellent. Two-inch destroyer can go. Carriers hang about in the Bay of Tunis. And these guys probably just go home, but don't stray too far. Now we saw one ship, so there's something up here, but that's a pretty big area. Get some more scouting. You can finish off this lowly destroyer. Sure, we'll do the nice thing, pick up survivors. Getting any danger of torpedoes here. Cross behind her. All my strikes are ready. No eyes yet. We did have targets for scouting, and as you can see my old airships are on the way. Hopefully get some planes up and around this area. I'm assuming they haven't run for their bases. Guy's eating a lot of my shells. Heavy damage now. Okay, see them now. Here's all the recon taking off. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to use you guys as a bit of a scout as well. See if I can find this target I'm after. Yeah, that's fine. You're doing good humanitarian work. No, please do not go into port. Yet. Oh, well, never mind. Maybe do go into. And yeah, it might come back, but... Frustrating minute. The weather hates me, it really does. Yeah, right. Go home, we'll call it a win. Taking out a battleship, albeit an old one, a few destroyers. Solid little victory. Using none of our air power, interestingly enough. Yeah, speed up, that's one we'll do. Oh, there's some air combat going on, interesting enough. Well, it's funny that one's when it limits takeoff, but the ones in the air still get to do that. Will you tell me where that is? No. Okay. That's fine. Are you kidding me? Alright, thanks for that. RNG. Once you may, you can simply climb above. Yeah, fair point. That is true. It doesn't seem to impact you attacking ships though. Oh, that's good. Apparently they are right here. Ouch. I think that's the one we know about and was sinking. For recon? Or are you going to stop every time there's air combat despite if I have no ships out? Enemy warming down. Warwick damages our medium bombers. That looks like they've got a fair amount of cap then. Okay. Surprising job actually. None of our air attacks have got through. Like, oh, here we go. He says when it immediately happens. What do we think we're attacking? Enemy CV. They were up here. Actually, I should have hung around, been a bit greedier, but no, I think 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's good going. Probably not enough to sink her. 5 though. Now you're getting me excited. Wish I'd just kept the ship out just to keep the clock running, although I think it probably still will. Speed going. See if our land-based craft can do anything else for us. Rule the waves. A naval game you win by using air. That's what happened, wasn't it? This is very disassociated. Unlike something like what's that? That War in the Sea, where you at least get to control the aircraft yourself. I'm gonna hit them with a bomb. I get the feeling though we're just gonna damage them, but not sink anything. But you never know. Oh, and that's the weather off again. Okay. Interesting, we'll see what that comes out as. We just have to run to the 800. Still going, interestingly. Interesting, look at plane numbers as well after this. Okay. Oh my goodness, they did it. They sunk a CV. Kudos to my air power. We took out a battleship and a CV for the cost to destroy. So the battleship we can claim. That was rightfully ours. But the CV was entirely land-based air. Let's have a... Well, actually, before we do that... Right. So I will look at this first. We sunk the Glorious. Which looks pretty accurate for what she was. So it'll be a conversion, presumably. 3 torpedoes was all she took, but yeah, I suppose it makes sense. She's not an older ship that's been converted. Although 37, not that old. Went down easily enough. And then we, of course, sank the Majestic with 7 torpedoes in the end. Way to go. Right, so I want to have a quick look at numbers. So, yeah, we had a stupid number of planes, but they brought 600 to the fight, which is pretty impressive. They did lose more than us overall, which is good. Although some of those are probably on the sunken ship. Hey, here you go. Yeah, they lost 41 of those actually because of the CV sank. Our air-to-air losses are much worse, so they probably have better fighters than us. What all did they have? Another CVL, and yeah, 3 of their CVs out here. Interestingly enough, another CVL there. It's probably the one we saw come close. Not their actual battleship force that they've got down here. They had like 7 battleships. Unless I completely read that wrong. Yes, please leave this scenario. Major victory, 2 prestige. Thank you very much. Still blockaded though. More accurate, that's good. Early SAM mounts. Oh, there we go. Something for us to think about. Lost the sub. Lost the destroyer. How come we have twice as many subs and ours aren't doing the work? Ah, we are no longer blockaded. They don't have 7 battleships down here. I must have completely misread that. I mean, they could have moved them. Oh. All forward CA with 3 aft SAMs. There you go, the man's got his order in. We'll see. Minor budget issues, but I'll get to it one day. We're not far off parity with battleships. Theirs are much bigger than ours and probably more modern. Okay. Good. I feel like we've managed to turn it slightly. They still have a lot of CVs and CVLs, which is the next issue we're going to deal with. And they do have 5 battleships just chilling out in Northern Europe. They're still technically blockaded by Russia. That doesn't seem to do anything. SAMs are the biggest game changer. Once you get that, you can neutralize the air so effectively. Ah. But I never got to the era of air missiles in my last game as the US, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But we're out of money. I'm gonna have to halt you as well. Feed these ships in slowly. So yeah, Pride of Fleet is probably the Habsburg herself, which was built 26 years ago. Not the most modern of ships. But generally our budget's been spent on replacing our light fleet losses and then switching over to an air arm, which, to be honest, maybe we didn't need as much of, given the prevalence of land-based air. At this stage of the game, you gain 1 guaranteed kill every time you fire a SAM. Ah, that is interesting. Alright, we'll have to look at that. Can't do much about it right now, but we'll be able to do that. Convoy defense. 1 forces. Okay. Right, I am reading it correct this time. We have 5 battleships, they have 1, and 1 battle cruiser. And 1. Really? We've still got 1 dreadnought? Interesting. 3 CLs, and then CVs, CVLs, and destroyers. Okay, let's do it. Convoy defense is a bit rubbish, but you've started declining, have you? Battleship engagement. Oh. Running scared now. Happy to report we're close to marrying the autoloader. Well, you'll need this for your CA you want to build. We'll have to hold off till we got that. Radar assist gunnery. Well, that's another huge thing we probably want on all our ships as well. Our submarine actually sunk something for once, which is nice. Albeit just a destroyer. Nice that we're giving as good as we're getting. How are we still losing money, man? I'm not actually sure my budget went down then, but I will not question it. It's probably more planes being built. That's fair enough. What do I want to do? I can't remember it, so probably not. Yeah, all the new aircraft. Yeah, that will have been it. And maybe something I want to turn down a little bit. Say some of these places aren't quite so required. But maybe we'll manage it for now. Oh, I just lose the medium bombers and not replace them. Yeah, I suppose that's true. That is true. Save myself some money. Give about 1 million. All right. I will heed your wise advice, given the flight ranges of torpedo bombers and dive bombers have served their purpose. And I shall not replace them with anything in a minute. We can't afford it. Shame we couldn't have nabbed one of the British bases off them earlier. At least no control if we were in the middle a little bit more, but I would also like to try and invade somewhere. That's quite pricey as well. The airbase I've got of 100. I'm surprised how well we've managed to fill all these dive bomber slots actually. Yes, I had more hanging about in reserve than I realised, or on the shelf rather than in reserve. There you go, 2.4 million. That's does save quite a large chunk. I just what I want to do with that. So we want from this Gibraltar, which is 5. That's quite expensive. Malta is 3. Egypt, oh, Egypt's 8. That's also very expensive. Cyprus is 1. So this is 2 wars we need for this, or a lot of invasions, which doesn't usually pay off. Egypt is oil. I have oil anyway. Well, I suppose it's, we're not going to deprive them of. We'll have oil other places. No, Egypt is not oil. Here we go. Not in this one. So I suppose realistically I should invade Egypt because it's worth the most. Therefore saved me the most in the peace deal. But it's also the least overlapping with areas I already control. I'm better actually going for somewhere like Valletta, forcing more combat around Malta, where I have lots and lots of air bases. What do you have? You have no planes there either. Sure. Go for Malta. Oh man, that's expensive. Do I really want to sink 2.6 million a month into this? Potentially not. Alright, I'm gonna hold off until we've built those ships. Our budget's recovered a little bit. Before we get into the next engagement, we are going to have to call this episode to a close, so we can catch up with that in the next one. So a pretty useful episode, pretty nice turnaround of the war. We got a good kill on the Majestic battleship with our surface fleet, and then nice to see our air wings start to pitch in and killing the glorious aircraft carrier. More than enough to push ahead in the VPs and start to whittle away at that British numerical superiority. As ever, this was taken from a Twitch live stream. If you're interested in coming and hanging out, there's a link in the description below. Otherwise, I do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you all in the next one.